All right, round one. We don't have any ramp, but we do have disruption, and the Mox Diamond seems pretty good too. So I think we're gonna keep it. This hand definitely could be better, but it's all right. It's not that bad, I guess. We're on the draw. Have to see what our opponent's doing. Typically, Thoughtseize is pretty nice. Reclamation Sage is fine too. So let's Thoughtseize, see what we're drawing. The Reclamation Sage is nice info to have since it's going to tell us if we want to break an artifact, if he has like a Signet or something. Well, there we go. A Mind Twist. Yeah, we've got to take the Mind Twist. That's just a bit too good. Frost Titan could definitely be hard to deal with, but he's just got a bunch of lands in Mind Twist right now. I mean, what are the chances I just spit my hand out before Mind Twist is even relevant? I mean, he's got quite a few turns before Frost Titan's even online, so why don't we just take the Mind Twist in case he gets a Black Lotus off the top or something stupid like that. So we know about a Frost Titan and then a bunch of lands. It would have actually been good to note which lands he had exactly, because then we know when he plays a different land if he's drawn one. So yes, I could play Mox Diamond at any time, but I don't really see a reason to do it just yet. Technically, I could have Thoughtseized myself to get a Grave Titan down there, but that doesn't seem particularly good. So I'm not playing the Mox Diamond right now, mostly because there's no reason to yet. We've got any artifact or enchantment on lockdown, which is kind of a good feeling. Just a land go. Ooh. Not quite in slime range yet, unfortunately. And since Mox Diamond has to ditch Forest, I'm going to have to draw another land before I can do the turn 4 Acidic Slime. But that's okay. The plan is still, even if I don't draw a land, to finally play Mox Diamond and ditch the Forest, because at least Mox Diamond taps for both black and green to eventually hardcast Grave Titan if I have to. But at this point, I guess a land draw is actually pretty good. A little bit confused why he hasn't cracked Marsh Flats yet. It's kind of telling me that he playing a bunch of colors and he doesn't know yet if he needs to find it. So I guess we'll find out. Admittedly, this has been a pretty slow game. Wasn't able to do anything super abusive, but kind of hoping he can play something I can wreck with Reclamation Sage. That would be ideal. All right, he's powering something out. Duretti. All right. Duretti's pretty good. It's going to let him ditch some lands and do some cool stuff. Oh, so maybe he's a reanimator of some sort? Could be. Let's see if we get a land here. That would be ideal. Let me blow up his Blood Crypt. All right, so I think we're just going to ditch the Treetop Village and play Acidic Slime this turn and melt the Blood Crypt. In case he's got some other red spells up his sleeve. Alright, so Mox Diamond. Discard Treetop Village. Play a Forest. Play Acidic Slime. Blow up Blood Crypt and pass. So now I kind of want Acidic Slime to die so that I can bring it back with Nightmare and continue blowing up lands using Reclamation Sage. The problem is with Recurring Nightmare, you have to preemptively target the creature card in your graveyard to use the effect. So I don't believe that it's actually possible to sack as part of the cost and then target the thing that you're sacking. But I don't believe that's possible. But I mean, there's an easy way to find out, I guess. All right, he's digging pretty deep. He's getting some good digging with the ready. All right, he's definitely Reanimator. Reclamation Sage cannot deal with Sphinx either, which is kind of a big deal. All right, that's going to be a big problem, so I don't know exactly what to do about that yet. All right, I guess we're in Grave Titan range at this point, but do I let him basically gain 6 life just so I can eventually bring my slime back with like a zombie token? Problem is Grave Titan doesn't even trade with Sphinx because it's got first strike, so we're in pretty big trouble. I'm not exactly sure how we deal with this. We can't pulse it, can't ultimate price it, which we're not main decking anyway. I don't know how we're going to beat Sphinx. I think we're not going to beat Sphinx, to be honest. I can't really come up with any sort of viable solution here. Craterhoof, Progenitus. Not even sure Progenitus can efficiently race that. We're low on time. Yeah, we're really low on time. Primal Command can buy us a turn with some life gain and find us something. We're in pretty big trouble, though. We do actually have a way to win this, but it is not very likely. Our opponent is at 9, but he's going to be at 15. He'd be at 21 if I attack with the slime. I think at this point we're better off just playing the Grave Titan. And then I guess hoping to... What am I hoping? Craterhoof, but I don't have the resources for it, so I don't know what I'm hoping for. I don't want him to gain 6 life, though. I know that much. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to deal with Sphinx. We also don't have any graveyard hate, which is not going to help us too much either. And this thing having first strike and vigilance and lifelink is pretty insane, so not sure how we can go about beating that yet. I guess our plan is attack Duretti with everything. He kills our Grave Titan. And then I reanimate it, sacking the slime so that I can eventually get the slime back too. Really wish I could destroy this. So I guess we're just dead next turn, or 2 turns from now. Ooh. So I can find Progenitus. I've got 6 resources. Oh, I can also get Craterhoof. Okay. So Craterhoof, I gotta read it real quick. Craterhoof. Creatures you control, where X the number of creatures you control. So 1 more turn of setup. I think we can actually beat Sphinx, believe it or not. So I think what we do is swing everything at him. Yeah, so we swing at him. He kills Grave Titan. We Recurring Nightmare. We sack a zombie. Get back Grave Titan. Net a zombie. Don't net any damage. But we can also cast Reclamation Sage for no value. Just to get another body on the board. Yeah, you know, that's going to maximize our chance of Natural Order getting there. So let's do that. So we actually swing at him. We're just doing this to get as many creatures on board as possible, since the damage is basically going to cancel each other out here. But we're definitely we've got a decent chance of winning this, to be honest, if this pans out the way I want it to. Could just block a slime too, but that's not the end of the world. Then we still get the Reclamation Sage for the natural order, so he does the block that we sort of anticipated him doing. Takes a no life loss, we get a couple zombies. Now we do Recurring Nightmare. We sack a zombie to get back our Grave Titan. Yeah, so you definitely have to have the dude out. And then we'll drop the Reclamation Sage. At this point, we're just trying to get as many bodies out there as possible, especially if he has a way to deal with acidic slime. Not use the ability and pass. So next turn, natural order, sack the sage, or I guess sack the slime and get back the... No, actually, I guess we sack the sage because trampled death touch is better. And then we'll get out the crater hoof, but that should do it. That should certainly be lethal. But, I mean, there's a lot of things that any sort of counterspell, and that game plan's out the window, but it's certainly worth a try. I think the problem is Duretti has done quite a bit of work for him. We certainly have lethal, though. If the natural order and crater hoof comes out, we've definitely got lethal. But I kind of want him to just cast something here, like a creature, so that way I don't have to worry about counterspells, really. If he knew a natural order was coming, he could sack his Sphinx and then get back an Inferno Titan and kill our slime and sage. And I guess that still wouldn't work unless I miss a resource. But we'll see what happens here. Definitely hoping he does not have a counterspell, but we'll see. It's all I've got, so let's try it. Sack the sage. Get out the crater hoof. Get our bonus. Could have Cryptic to tap down everything as well. But that's about the only outs he's got. All right, well, got there, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, the old natural order crater hoof. I like the utility natural order gives us in our deck. Terastodon, crater hoof, Progenitus. Very good options there. All right, so we're playing against Reanimator. I believe we do not have any sort of way to disrupt that I can see. Ultimate Price does kill Inferno Titan, but does not do anything against the much more abusive Sphinx. Yeah, my only out to the Sphinx is like discard, and discard against Reanimator is quite bad. Actually, that's not necessarily true. Thought Seizing a Reanimate spell is pretty nice. I don't see him resolving Sphinx of the Steel Wind reliably in that deck. I could do the Ultimate Price because he is running Inferno and Frost Titan, two ways. Two things I can get rid of with Ultimate Price. It might actually be better to get rid of the Him, because Him, even though it's a random discard, has a chance to hit the creatures and not the Reanimate, whereas Thoughtseize lets me straight up just take the Reanimate spell. So I think I'm going to leave the Thoughtseize in, take out the Him. I'm hoping he's got some stuff I can hit with Reclamation Sage, but I guess we'll find out. Everything else seems fine, I think. I don't really have good outs for reanimation effects. Tangle Wire, if I could ramp reliably. I have a reasonable, reliable ramp plan, but not quite good enough. I do like having the Ultimate Price and Maelstrom Pulse in case he does not have the Sphinx of the Steel Wind. and he has the Titan instead. It's nice outs for those. Maelstrom Pulse at least takes care of Duretti as well, so it's a reason to keep it in. Yeah, I'm pretty much just playing Ultimate Price to take out his Titans. And possibly Gristlebrand. Alright, you know what? This seems fine. It does seem weird to take out him since it's random discard for an efficient cost, but I don't like the idea of making him discard a Titan and letting him reanimate it, so Thoughtseize, on the other hand, like I said, because you get to choose, I think is much better. So let's try this. Alright, unfortunately, going to have to mulligan this, but this hand's not all that good anyway. It's got all of our expensive stuff. So, oh, our opponent mulled as well. We are certainly keeping at 6, since we can do a turn 3 Solemn. Opponent mulls to 5, keeps at 5, plays first. Ultimate Price, not too shabby. We're still not going to do the Mox Diamond yet. No reason to at the moment. Fauna Shaman, very nice. So now we can ditch the Terastodon to maybe find a Ramper of some sort. No Black Source currently. Actually, just weird in general that our opponent's doing that. Let's go ahead and pay 1, and we'll ditch the, guess, Terastodon. Let's find a ramp creature to play here. Let's get birds, I guess. Could do the Tribe Elder, which, if he has a board wipe, will be better. I don't mind that. Yeah, you know, the fact that he's playing blue-white right now, I guess he did have to ramp to 5, though, but if he has a board wipe, it's much better to have the Sakura Tribe Elder. I mean, we don't have sack fodder as much for the recurring nightmare, but let's do Tribe Elder. So now we do Mox Diamond, and we'll ditch our forest. We play the Tribe Elder and pass. This way we've got Solemn next turn and all of the resources we'll ever need. So we're going to find a green source since Mox Diamond is our second black source that we needed. No lands, no plays, okay. Sack the Tribe Elder, get out of forest. There's our swamp. So now we're just a resource away from Grave Titan, so we'll have that next turn. So I guess we can just attack now. We don't need to search anything up. We'll just play the Solemn, play a land, and pass. I guess we play land first, play around the days. And find another green source, and pass. Now we're in Grave Titan range, and not really worried about much. Hey, there's something to destroy. If I could actually Reclamation Sage that and ditch my Grave Titan, but we'll see if we get a different creature here. Mana Crypt. Alright, well, I could ditch the Grave Titan to get Acidic Slime to blow up the Worn Power Stone, since now he's a resource away from Frost Titan, but I actually don't think that's a problem since I can just price. I have to remember to pay the extra mana, but I can just ultimate price it, and no reason to play the Mana Crypt at this point. Could I ditch Grave Titan for a better creature? You know, maybe. Like Avenger. Yeah, but I like what the Grave Titan does just as much, I think. Especially since I don't have any lands to follow up with, so let's just get in there for some damage. Drop the Grave Titan and pass. So this way, if he has a board wipe, at least we get to draw off Solemn, and we have resources to do other big things. So he's at 6 mana now, which means he's in Frost Titan range. But like I said, I can deal with Frost Titan, which is nice. Board wipe, it's kind of a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. Drawing off Solemn and using the Sakura Tribe Elder was a nice, kind of workaround for that. And he definitely does have to board wipe or play something huge. All right, Tamiyo, it's not that big of a deal. He can draw 2, or he can lock down Grave Titan. If he locks down Grave Titan, we just get to destroy Tamiyo, which really doesn't do all that much for him anyway. So basically just saves him a turn of damage, which is good since he's going to be on borrowed time soon, so. But I still will attack Tamiyo because I don't want him to be able to draw. If I attack him with everything for 8, he would be able to draw 5 cards, which I don't like. So I'm going to try and take out Tamiyo here. I believe successfully. If I draw a creature, I can Fauna Shaman for some utility, blow up his 1 black resource, which at this point I think is better since he's a Reanimator plan. Could be Inquisition, which wouldn't be that big of a deal either. He gets an ultimate price, but we're still in much more of a commanding board state. Oh, he's going to reanimate my Terrastodon. I see. He takes 8. He would get some elephants, I guess. But we're going to be able to ultimate price the Terrastodon. And I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do. Takes him to 6. He basically has to blow up all of his lands, I think. Because he can't really afford to blow up my resources. I mean, maybe he can, but... wait, what? What's the third one? Am I missing something? I don't see the third resource he's blowing up. Oh, it's up to? Oh, okay. So he just destroyed 2. All right. No big deal there. So now we ultimate price the Terrastodon. We still get in with all of our goodies, I think. We can also Primal Command. So let me think about this. I can Primal Command plus ultimate price, so I definitely want to do that. What am I Primal Commanding for? Primal Commanding for Avenger, Craterhoof. I do have the resources to do Craterhoof next turn, so I think we're going to Primal Command for Craterhoof. And get in on Tamiyo. If I attack everything at Tamiyo this turn, after destroying Terrastodon, he can block 2, taking this to 1. So I guess I can't kill Tamiyo, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's not that big of a deal. Could also just, all right, yeah, I guess that works the best. So we Primal Command the Tamiyo, so we effectively, he can't replay it. Yeah, this is going to work well. So we do Mana Crypt. We do Primal Command. We put that on top of his library. Nope, not that one. This one. All right, so we put Tamiyo on top of his library. Search for a creature card. Find Craterhoof. We pass the turn. I don't want to play Ultimate Price just yet. He could have a counterspell, but Crater Hoof's going to be lethal anyway. The reason I don't want to cast Ultimate Price now is if he does a board wipe, it's going to be a waste. But if he does not do a board wipe, then alright. So I think we just got it here. Now we can do Ultimate Price at the end of his turn. And that is, it's more than lethal. I honestly did not even have to do the Ultimate Price. I could have just, the Crater Hoof was definitely going to be very lethal, but grip full of good cards that he was unable to cast, essentially. Wait, so you don't want to play the Island and Cryptic me. Why? Why would you not want to do that? Am I missing something? You draw Tammy, or maybe he just drew it later. I don't know. Must have. He only had 3 cards left in his hand. I think he just pressed draw a card a bunch and then revealed his hand. So I don't know how it organized his hand. Maybe he had these 3. I'm not sure. But he must have been missing that 3rd blue for the Cryptic. That would have been a good way to counter Crater Hoof, or at least, yeah, counter Crater Hoof for sure. Okay. Well, we got there off of kind of a weird Reanimator strategy, but he did have to mulligan to 5. I actually think Reanimator's pretty good against us since we ditch stuff like Terastodon to Fauna Shaman, which then makes for a sick Reanimate target, but it ended up panning out for us. He did have board wipes too, so I'm still glad I played the Elder and the Solemn or whatever, but okay, we'll see you round 2.